What's going on? It's your man, Mr. Controversy here, representing the three-point conversion. Did you miss me? And yes, you are listening to my NFL diary. What's going on? It was an interesting week 3. Very interesting. A lot of blowouts, a lot of close games at the end that shouldn't have been close. And I'm not even going to say in my opinion, that's what it is. And if this is your first time listening to the Mr. Controversy's NFL Diary podcast, Mr. Controversy is going to bring it real. The only way I know how to do. You might say, hey, he's controversial, but one thing you'll say, he's telling the truth. So let's get to it, people. First of all, I got to start off with my counterfeit teams. So week 3 counterfeit teams, I only have 2. First team I'm going to talk about is the Indianapolis Colts. Counterfeit. Why do I say they counterfeit? First of all, you're playing the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. Once again, a place where teams go to so they can have a 9th home game. I've been there before. I've been there in, what year was that? 2011. Went there 2011. Go see my Chicago Bears. That was my first Chicago Bears home game in Tennessee. LP Field blew them out. I think the crowd was like maybe 60-40 Chicago Bears fans. Crazy. So Indianapolis, you have the better quarterback, the better wide receivers, should be the better defense, and better coach. And you go to Tennessee and you struggle, forget that. You come from behind to win. Now, granted, they won. I give them that. Kudos to luck and that team battling back. But at the same time, you're playing against a rookie. And might I add, Marcus Mariota is very much impressing me. That dude looks good. But like I said, it's still rookie season. RG3 looked good his rookie season, didn't he? I think he won Rookie of the Year that year. So let's see. But honestly, though, he looks good. All jokes aside, he looks good. The way he came back, like I said, his poise, that's what I'm most impressed by, his poise. And he has a nice arm. You didn't see this in Oregon. But anyway, back to the counterfeit team, Indianapolis Colts. So Indianapolis Colts, they come in. Yes, they were 0-2, so you would think they would come in aggressive. I think they were down by 14. Come on, man. Like I said, Luck, I don't know what's going on with Luck. Still doesn't look good. Look suspect. T.Y. Hilton, Andre Johnson, the rookie, Dorsett. Your wide receiving core, excuse me, I wouldn't think that is all of that. But at the same time, like I said, you're Indianapolis Colts. You were in the AFC Championships last year, playing to go to the Super Bowl, 1 game away from the Super Bowl. You've added depth to that team, Frank Gore, and you go to Tennessee and you barely win. As a matter of fact, after they took the lead, they almost squandered the lead. Tennessee came back, Mariota drove down, almost had to score. Well, actually, they scored. They needed a 2-point conversion to tie the game, and it failed. So, again, Indianapolis Colts, counterfeit. Now, my next counterfeit team, a lot of people don't like that. Shout out to Big TJ. Shout out to Big Q. The Carolina Panthers, counterfeit. You're like, Mr. Controversy, how in the world can you say they're counterfeit? They're 3-0. Okay, let's look at the teams that they've beaten. They've beaten the Houston Texans, garbage. Jacksonville Jaguars, garbage. And then you beat the New Orleans Saints, who was already garbage without with Drew Brees. Now you play their backup, and you barely win. And both of those, all three of those games, I'm sorry, they didn't dominate. It was a close game throughout. So you get Luke McCown, not Josh McCown, the garbage brother, Luke McCown, which I give credit. Luke McCown looked good. So maybe I shouldn't call him garbage, but before the game, he was garbage. So you get Luke McCown come in, and you have this decimated defense for the New Orleans Saints. True enough, Cam doesn't have weapons, and I'm not blaming Cam because Cam looked good. Cam hadn't looked this good since his rookie season. Cam looked good, but still, you eke out another win? Come on, man. We're talking about the Carolina Panthers, who won 2 divisions in a row. First team to do that in the South, the NFC South in history. That's first team ever to do that in the NFC South. So you come in, yes, we know Benjamin's not there. I understand that. Like I said, no receivers. I get that. But still, my thing is they're counterfeit. I'm not calling them counterfeit because maybe they shouldn't have blown them out. What I'm saying is, I think they should have blown Jacksonville out. But what I'm saying is they're not as good as we think they are. But they're still good. And I know you say now you contradicting yourself. No, when I mean now, we all know what counterfeit means. It looks better than what it really is. And that's what I'm saying. Carolina looks better than what they really are. But I'm not saying that they're a bad team. But the fact that everybody right now is looking like, okay, I hear a lot of people talking, they might win the South. Atlanta looks good, but they've been coming back every game. No. Carolina, I don't know. They're not as good as we think they are. But one thing I've said before, I think I said week 1 NFL diary, the fact that Carolina, they battled back. Cam Newton, we thought he was unstable up top. You know, he wasn't mentally tough. That dude is mentally tough, and he's tough. And the only thing I don't like what Cam did was, dude, you don't rat the referee out. Like, what was your point in that? I understand you was upset, but come on, bro. That's a code. You don't do that. You don't do that. You look, I don't know. To me, it looked kind of punkish. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't even have to say that. You know, now if you would have said it jokingly, laughing, like I can't, but you come out and basically told on Ed Hockley. You know what I'm saying? That's Ed Hockley. So I didn't like that. But anyway, still, I don't think Carolina is good as what we think they are. You know, yes, they miss Keithley. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Trust me, I do. But that doesn't mean that they're not counterfeit. Again, they're not as good as we think they are or as they look. And honestly, you might not think they look good. But Cam looks good. Cam is playing his tail off. And that's what I like about Cam is he's stepping up when the team needs him to, like he usually does. So that's good. But, again, Carolina Panthers, counterfeit. All right. So now let's talk about the teams that are looking good. Now, we know teams, of course, like the Packers. They're looking like almost unbeatable. New England Patriots. I have to say this, you all. I said this even before the game. I don't think they lose a game. The only game, I think, 2 games that they can lose, possibly lose. The Jets game in New Jersey, just because of they're probably the only team that has the secondary to cover Gronk. Even though Gronk is big, but still, you can put Reeves on Gronk, and I believe he can do that and stop Gronk. They have Reeves. You have Cromartie. You have a nice defense, nice secondary. I think they have a chance to beat New England, but I just don't think they will. They don't have enough offense. And the only other team that could beat them, I think, is Buffalo in New England. Believe it or not, yes, I said Buffalo in New England. But again, Rex Ryan is what, 1-7, 1-6, 1-7, something like that. So I don't think New England's losing this season. They're going to beat Denver. They're going to beat the Colts. New England's not losing this season. I don't think they're losing this season. So another great team. But let's not forget the Arizona Cardinals. I know a lot of people been talking, and I'm probably late. When I mean late, is because everybody else said something, but I haven't listened to anything yet. You know, haven't got the chance to listen to my boy podcast, Mr. TJ. Check him out on the 3-Point Conversion Station, Sports and Nonsense. Great show. Haven't got a chance to listen to that just yet. Been busy. And I know he probably talked about the Cardinals as well, which he should have. But my take on the Cardinals, is that we didn't see this coming. We knew they were a good team, but I didn't think Carson would be playing at this level. I didn't think Fitzgerald would be playing at this level. Knew the defense was nice. I didn't think the defense would be as good as they are. Or, you know, we know Honey Badger's a beast. Calais Campbell, you know, they have a nice nucleus on defense, but still, I thought with losing Cromartie, I thought that would kind of hurt. But they proved me wrong. They stepped up, and they're blowing everybody out. Everybody they play, they blow out. So, sure enough, they're playing not so good teams or garbage teams, but they're on their schedule. So, I mean, what can we say? So, I think Arizona, great team. I think they will be somewhere near the end. Do I think they're going to the NFC Championship? Don't know yet, because they have to still play Seattle and go through Seattle. Until they defeat Seattle, that division will always be Seattle Seahawks division. So let's watch that and see what happens. But also, Buffalo Bills. Man, we knew the Buffalo Bills was going to be nice. You know, most people had them winning 9 or 10 games. This looked like a 12-win season for Buffalo. Tyrod is playing nice. I'm gonna get on his play a little bit later, but he's looking good. And you gotta remember, Shady McCoy is still not even getting off. Yeah, he had a touchdown catch, but he's still maybe 60 or 70%. And they're looking good. The rookie Williams, he looks good. I think he's a rookie. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know I hear it, but I think he's a rookie. I don't even think Percy did anything last Sunday, but they blew them out. Clay looks good. The defense is beasting. So I think Buffalo will win 12 games this season, you all. The only reason why they won't get a bye is because New England will go undefeated. That's the only reason. But I see them having a third best record in the AFC. So those are my good-looking teams. Now, let me go to my garbage player of the week. Should be the garbage player of the last 3 weeks, and that's Matthew Stafford. Garbage. That dude is garbage. Garbage. I've been saying he was garbage 4 or 5 years ago. Even when he had 5,000 yards, he would get 5,000 yards and 17 touchdowns. But this dude has probably his most talented roster that he's had since he's been in Detroit. With Megatron, with Golden Tate. Yes, I said Golden Tate. Golden Tate was another guy who used to say that dude is not that good. But anyway, he is. Golden Tate. You got the rookie Abdullah. Still got Joakim Bell. You have a nice roster. Now, your line is looking suspect, but still, you can't deliver. You have all that talent. And people, yes, I'm going to talk about the Bears because that's my team. You have the nerve to talk about Cutler. Cutler's garbage. Cutler's garbage. But you want to give Matthew Stafford credit? What has he done? He hasn't won a playoff game. He only went to the playoff once. But at least Cutler won a playoff game and played well in that game against Seattle. Garbage. He's garbage, man. He's overrated. Only thing about Stafford is he's tough. You know, and he might come through in a clutch every now and then. But yes, still garbage. All right. So We're going to take a quick little break, and I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, I said it was a quick break. So I told you I was serious about a quick break. All right. So let's get to the meat of this podcast. We all know that this is a passing league, a quarterback driven league. You know, you look at the big names like Aaron Rodgers, Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning. Who else? What other quarterback? Phillip Rivers. You know, all Big Ben. All of these gunners. These quarterbacks is throwing for 300 yards. Now, some of them didn't in the past, but like Big Ben just started throwing for 300 yards each game. He looks good. But you have a lot of these quarterbacks, these high-end quarterbacks throwing for this many yards. So what? It's overrated, man. It's overrated. Throwing for 300 yards, especially in today's game, is overrated. You drop back 50 times to throw the ball. But what does 300 yards, passing over 300 yards get you? Besides Aaron Rodgers, because that dude is a beast. Even though I hate saying that, but he's unreal. But, okay, Peyton Manning at one point, yeah. But still, like, Big Ben, now when he's throwing for 300 yards, he's going to throw a pick or so, too. Andrew Luck might throw 3 picks, still have 384 yards. Rivers, he's going to throw for 300 yards, over 300 yards, but he's throwing a pick. He's throwing 2 or 3 picks. It's overrated. It's not winning you games. It's not winning you Super Bowls. Tom Brady, he did it when he had Randy Moss. And then last year, not so much of throwing for 300 yards every game. But, I mean, when you have Gronk, it's hard to stop Gronk, Then you have Edelman. So it's working out for him now. He's balling. He's mad now. But you think about it, Tom Brady back in his day, he wasn't that type of quarterback that threw for over 300 yards. Didn't really care to. He just knew how to win. Russell Wilson, he doesn't throw for 300 yards. And just like Tom Brady used to be, no receivers. But you don't have to throw for 300 yards in order to be a top 5 quarterback or a top-notch quarterback. Make sound decisions. Don't make a lot of mistakes. Be smart. Use your brain. If you can, use your legs. And be clutch. That's all it takes. That's what a quarterback is. This is what you want from your quarterback. Joe Montana, he never threw for 300 yards like that. If you look at Joe Montana's stats compared to these quarterbacks today, you would be looking at – if you didn't know better, if you was in jail locked up or you just started watching football, you'd be like, man, this without the Super Bowl, you're like, this dude, he was horrible. Like, he wasn't that good. Why is he getting all of his credit? Because that's a quarterback, you don't have to throw for 300 yards. You don't have to. It's not necessary. Your job is to lead the team. Don't make mistakes. Be there when your team needs you. Be clutch. And basically be the smartest man on the field at that time. So that's why you have players like Russell Wilson, Tom Brady. Ben was like that at one point. And you know who else has come? I'm not calling him a top-notch player yet, but the way he's playing and the way he's delivering, watch out for Tyrod Taylor. Because Tyrod is looking good. He don't have to throw for 300 yards. He can throw for 240. But he's making good decisions. He's not making them dumb passes. He's using his legs when he needs to. Tyrod is looking good. And I put Tyrod in this conversation as far as quarterbacks that don't need to throw for 300 yards. It's unnecessary. It's overrated. So what? You drop back 50 times. I don't care. What is it getting you? So you throw for 360 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. and you're what, 19 for 38 or 23 for 47. I mean, come on, man. I'd rather take a quarterback that's 15 for 30, 15 for 28, or even 15 for, 15 for 23, something like that. 2 touchdowns, 230 yards, 216 yards. It could be that. And you win by what, 2 touchdowns? Troy Aikman, same type of quarterback. Troy Aikman, he never had them crazy stats. Always 230, 16 for 22, 2 touchdowns. Take it to the house. Let's go back home. Game over. So that's why I say, man, 300 yards, overrated. Now, after that rant, man, let me talk about this. Julio Jones and AJ Green both bought out. But Julio Jones is finally coming into his own. He's finally taking that next step to where I criticized before, where, yes, he can catch the deep passes, but he's not dominating games. But Sunday's performance, he had 12 catches, I think, for like 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. Beasting. They was double teaming him. They couldn't stop him. But it always seems like when Julio goes off, AJ has to come back and say, I could top that. And what did AJ do? I think AJ had 10 catches or 9 catches for 230 yards, 230 some odd yards, and 2 touchdowns. Last year on my NFL diary, or Battlegrounds, I should say, I talked about who was better, Julio, AJ Green. I gave the nod to AJ. But I think I'm leaning towards Julio, y'all. Even though AJ's still a beast, he proves it all the time. But Julio, and he had a bad hamstring, Julio. So he's turned into that guy that you can't stop no matter what you want to do to him, what you try to do to him. You can't stop him. He has the speed, the power, the hands. Now he's starting to be clutch and dependable. Those two. So who do I think is the better receiver in the NFL? Who's the best receiver in the NFL? I move AJ out. I still got to give it to Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is a beast. So I got to give it to Antonio Brown. And my last rant, I'm leaving it like this. It's time for them to change certain rules. I know you had rules to protect the game, protect players in the game, or to, I guess, make certain situations easier to officiate. And for that, well, first of all, let's start off with the kickoff rule. That was the most exciting play in the NFL. Now it's getting to the point when they're kicking off, unless it's Hester or the kid Lockett, or maybe Tavon Austin, I'm changing the channel. Well, you remember back in the day, kickoff, that was one of the best plays because you had the hitting, but then it was always a chance for the player to take it to the house. One of the most exciting plays in football, but they take that away. Now you kick it from the other team's 30-yard line, you kicking it out of bounds. Come on, man. Just, please. Goodell, I know you talk about concussions, but I think you did it just to protect yourself, which is smart if you're thinking in a business way. But as a fan, I want to see action. That's what I want to see, action. So take that rule away. Tired of that rule. The next rule that needs to go, it should have been gone a long time ago, is when your forearm touches the ground. That rule is dumb to me. Now, if you say it can't cause a fumble, I understood that rule back then. That was the reason why I pretty much put that rule in place. That's why I said it was to make situations easier to officiate. But now you had a play in week 1 with Melvin Gordon. He got hit, did like a flip, his wrist touched the ground, but his feet was still up. Like it wasn't like his feet was like his legs was on someone. No, he was standing on his, like he caught himself and he was on his 2 feet, but his wrist touched the ground. They blew the whistle. Come on, man. What kind of a call is that? Take that away. We missing these spectacular plays because of that? It's dumb. How can you be down if you're on your 2 feet, but your wrist touching the ground? That don't make sense. It's stupid. Stop it. You know how to say that? Well, let me say it in the right way. Stop it. But anyway, it's dumb. It's dumb. So anyway, man, I'm going to wrap it up. This concludes my NFL diary. Shouts out to Joe Schaefer, to Jeremy Steed, to Jersey Kids, to Mr. Vincent Jackson, Miss Dory. Who else am I missing? Mike Patton, keep doing your thing, bro. I see you. I see you. Danny Thompson, Ted Hicks, Lee Vowell, my 3-point conversion crew, Ab Stanley, Ab Stanley, the newest addition or newest writer, Mr. Todd Vandenberg. Hey, man, love that article. Dwayne Harrington. Also, my web designer, Mr. Galen Ross from the Ross Design Group. So shouts out to everyone who's listening. And make sure you check me out on the 3-point conversion YouTube channel, which you can watch this video as well. I'm streaming now. Also, check out the website, the 3pointconversion.com website, where you can also view all of the shows on Spreaker Radio. Excellent articles. Like I said, I just named my crew. Excellent articles. It's a place where fans' opinions matter. That's all it is. Fans' opinions matter. That's all it's about. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter at the 3-point conversion, and also Mr. Controversy 21. Check me out. Next time, hopefully it won't be the same time next week, but you know I'm gonna give it to you raw and give it to you real. I'm out. Peace. Did you miss me?